I'm always reluctant to talk about any group of people using media shorthand. That's especially true of the growing Hispanic population in this country. The old media acted as though they were a block of voters who would simply thank Joe Biden for opening the borders and soon become registered Democrats. Boy, did that ever backfire. Well, just like most of America, Hispanics want to live a better life. They want to have enough money to take a vacation, buy a home, go to church on Sunday, maybe even in a new car. The outgoing White House brain trust also thought that if they just took care of the migrants using taxpayer money, they'd have a whole new voting bloc. But it doesn't work like that. This is not a herd of people all looking for freebies. No, the Hispanic leaders I know start small businesses. They take great care of their families, and they can't stand crime. They're just like all of us. There's no different. They're Americans like us. They are Americans like us. They fight for the values of America in very large numbers, some of our finest citizens. Which brings me to our guest tonight, the president of the National Hispanic Christian Leadership Conference, a good friend, Pastor Sam Rodriguez. Sammy, welcome back. It's great to have you. We talked before the election. Now we're getting a chance to sort of look at it in hindsight. Give us a take. Were you surprised at the turnout, not just for Donald Trump, but for conservatives in the House, Senate, governorships? What's your assessment?
Governor, great to be with you. With great due deference, before I answer your question, permit me to express a moment of personal, let me hold back here. Yes! Soon to be Ambassador Huckabee. Please forgive me. You may want to edit this, but I don't think you should. You're one of my favorite people on
Absolutely
the planet.
Not.
You really are. And you're one of my favorite people. Known you for years. So help me. I am so, all right. Get back. Calm down, Sam.
Oh.
Now, to answer
I love
your
it.
question,
Thank you, Sammy. You're my friend.
to answer your question, 54% of Latino males. That's according to CNN, by the way, not even Fox News. CNN.
Yeah.
46% of all Latinos. These are record-breaking numbers. George Bush had 44% in 2004. So it broke the George W. Bush number. Wow. Because Hispanics were concerned with the following three items in chronological order. Economy/inflation. Number two, the continuum of lawlessness, which includes open borders. 15 million approximately illegal entries, empowering the cartels, fentanyl, rapists, Venezuelan gangs, you name it, human trafficking, sex trafficking, and the continuum of lawlessness in the inner city. Across America, where crime, even petty crime, was regarded as something we should not even prosecute because it's part of a restorative justice motif. The third element is parental rights. Why did Latinos shift so hard to the right? Well, because it's part of who we are. We are faith, family, and freedom. It's our cultural DNA. It's our worldview, which is a biblical worldview, by the way, Judeo-Christian value system. But parental rights, the Latino community basically said the following to the Democratic establishment. Get your hands off our children. Stop attempting to indoctrinate them.
Yeah.
Get your hands off our kids. What do you mean my 6-year-old can come home questioning their sexuality and government, like in Washington state, passed a law and the government may have the right to intrude and provide medical procedures to line up with that 6-year-old child's dysphoria, which we have empathy for, but whatever they're struggling with, when they don't even have the cognitive or the maturity bandwidth to address what they are actually combating. Get your hands off our kids. Governor, this is why Latinos said, no, absolutely not. And you saw this radical shift, even in places like New Jersey and New York that did not turn red, but Latinos voted more, and even in the Bronx County, Puerto Ricans in Kissimmee, Florida, it is an incredible Latino wave that is shifting the American political landscape for generations to come.
I don't know if you're nervous about the election, but I am. I just don't know how it's going to go. And I do know that depending on the election, my personal economy and yours could change dramatically. What if it all goes sideways? Well, there's one thing that I can control. I can buy gold from American Hartford Gold, and I'm doing it before the election because I don't want to wait and see what might happen and the prices could really go sideways. Maybe it's time for you to think about buying physical gold and silver. And if you do, can I highly recommend you do it from American Hartford Gold? It's where I buy mine. And the reason is because I rely on the folks at American Hartford Gold, the one and only precious metals company that I would recommend to you and that I trust, and where I buy mine. If you can call or text, you can get a free, no strings attached gold or silver information kit from American Hartford Gold. You'll learn how to protect your nest egg with a tax-advantaged gold IRA. And if you call now, you can get up to $15,000 of free silver on qualifying purchases. Call 844-417-1010 or text Mike to 998899 and get your free information kit from American Hartford Gold. I just wish you could be a little more excited about it, Sammy. You know, you're so low-key in everything you do, so we have to kind of, jack you up a little bit. In all seriousness, I really appreciate your analysis of this, and I think it was significant because what you just shared was an affirmation of what I said at the beginning. Hispanic families have been taken for granted by Democrats. They've assumed that it was a monolithic voting bloc and that they would vote because they wanted open borders, which they clearly do not, because it's an insult to all of the Hispanics who came legally, have worked so hard to assimilate into America. They're some of our proudest Americans. Sammy, one of the things that you might want to address is that there is a extraordinarily disproportionate number of Hispanic people who serve in our military. Hispanics are more likely to defend this country than any other ethnic group. Most people, I bet, don't know that.
Governor, my uncle died in Korea. My cousin, my first cousin, who I was close with, died in Iraq. Hispanics have disproportionately served in our nation's military for years, for a very, very long time. And doing so because they have a commitment. They believe in the American ethos. They believe in life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We truly believe in this idea that our rights are given to us by God. And these God-given rights must be protected. That's what makes America exceptional, this radical idea of God-given rights. And because of that, Hispanics have served in the military to defend these values, to defend my ability to preach the gospel. I'm an evangelical preacher. And my forefathers fought so I could continue to advance the kingdom of heaven here on earth by pointing people to Jesus. So yes, indeed. And they're involved in every sector of society. You name it, from science and technology to AI. In every single sector of society, Latinos, Hispanics are thriving. Hence this idea that let's open the border up and we're going to get this group in perpetuity as a monolithic voting group for generations to come. Latinos just voted against illegal immigration. Latinos just voted against the cartels, sex trafficking, human trafficking, fentanyl, and lawlessness. Latinos said, no, absolutely not. It's a wake-up call. I don't know whether or not the far left will actually embrace that. Now, oh, by the way, Governor, have you heard the term? We were called the day after the election by, I won't mention the reporters, whose name you would recognize and I would recognize, from a certain liberal network. We were called racist. Latinos are now the new racist class. We are now officially part of the racist class. Yes, that's who we are. We are Latino, the new racist, brought to you by MSNBC.
Personal safety has become a major concern. So wouldn't it be helpful to have a new and easy way to protect you and your loved ones? Well, one way to stop the threat without having to shoot and possibly kill someone is available. Hello, I'm Mike Huckabee, and I found exactly how to have full protection without lethal force. It looks like a gun, acts like a gun, but it shoots chemical irritants and kinetic rounds, not actual bullets. The name is Byrna, B-Y-R-N-A. Now imagine being able to protect yourself without the legal or moral concerns of carrying an actual firearm. The Byrna is legal in all 50 states. No background checks are required, and it can be shipped directly to your doorstep. Most importantly, it's built to immediately stop an attacker without taking a life. The peace of mind you have is free. It's easy to use and doesn't have the strong recoil that real guns have, and you don't need ear protection either. It's assembled by hand right here in the U.S., fully trusted by law enforcement, and oftentimes it only needs to be shown and not fired to turn an attacker away. Don't wait until something happens. Go to Byrna.com/Huckabee and learn more about this effective alternative to deadly force. 500,000 are out there already, and right now you'll get a special 10% discount too. That's Byrna with a Y, Byrna.com/Huckabee. And don't feel vulnerable any longer.